Was the heavenly Tao or the great Tao better? What question was this? It had to be the great Tao. Hanju cursed in his head. What were the big shots in the first row asking? Ancestor Shitian replied, before attaining the Tao, cultivating the heavenly Tao is the best. Under the heavenly Tao, all living beings have to follow its rules. After attaining the Tao, one can cultivate the great Tao and seek a higher realm. Cultivation has no end. Even I am still exploring the endless possibilities. The questioner continued to ask. This time, he asked about the details of cultivation. Hanju didn't understand. There were many questions in the future that Hanju didn't understand. It involved yin-yang, 8 trigrams, providence, karma, fate, and so on. Hanju had never even learned the basics of these Tao, so he naturally couldn't understand them. He didn't want to understand for the time being. With the immeasurable calamity before him, he couldn't learn other Tao to enrich himself. The most important thing now was to become as strong as possible. After enduring the immeasurable calamity, he had plenty of time to fill up his understanding of the Tao. Some questions could be answered by Ancestor Shitian in a sentence, but he would give a long answer for those that involved cultivation content. One of them lasted for a month. Hanju could only cultivate quietly to pass the time. He noticed that many people in the back row were the same. Everyone pretended to listen carefully, but they were actually secretly cultivating. Even if he didn't understand the lecture, he couldn't offend Ancestor Shitian. In the blink of an eye. For years past, an immortal emperor in front of him was asking a question. Ancestor Shitian answered faster, and Hanju gradually understood. In the first 2 rows of Hanju, there were almost no questions about cultivation. It would be a waste to ask. It was better to ask about the general trend and the Tao heart. I should follow my heart and ask. Hanju thought to himself. This was a huge opportunity. Who knew when it would come again? After about a month and a half, it was finally Hanju's turn. He felt a divine sense. It was the concern of the heavenly emperor. Hanju said, Ancestor, my question is, has there ever been a mighty figure who achieved the Tao by always cultivating in a low-profile manner, staying away from conflict and not entering the calamity? With that said, many eyes landed on him. This question was too strange, even ridiculous. The heavenly emperor shook his head. Li Daokong smiled. Li Xianeo smiled mockingly. The demon emperor and the heavenly Tao Buddha glanced at Hanju. Who knew what they were thinking? They all had hatred towards Hanju and naturally knew him. They just didn't know that he was the Dark Forbidden Lord. Ancestor Shitian said slowly, when the world was first created, many conic life forms who had just been born were ascetics. They stayed far from the competition, but very few could attain the Tao. The current life forms are all postnatal life forms. If we don't compete for Providence, it will be very difficult to attain the Tao. Hanju was deep in thought. Many mighty figures shook their heads and laughed, feeling that this question was useless. However, although it's very difficult, it's not impossible. The immeasurable calamity will change in the future, and so will the heavens. Ancestor Shitian's tone was calm, but the eyes of hundreds of mighty figures flickered. The immeasurable calamity was about to change? Hanju fell into deep thought and didn't take Ancestor Shitian's words to heart. He wasn't affected. He even wanted to laugh. Since no one could do it, his enemies would definitely think that his bitter cultivation was a joke. They wouldn't be bothered to pay attention to him and think that he was a fool. The cultivator on Hanju's left asked his question. Time passed. More than 5 years went by. The lecture in the Great Ultimate Hall officially ended. The bell rang and all the listeners bowed and left. After leaving the Great Ultimate Hall, Hanju met with the Divine General and Long Jun. The Divine General teased, I didn't expect you to be stronger than us. You hit it well. Long Jun also looked at him with a meaningful gaze. Hanju said, no matter how strong I am, I'm inferior to you. I'm timid and hide in my cave abode every day to cultivate. All I can do is cultivate. You guys are busy with the heavenly court's matters and have little cultivation time. If you are like me, I won't be able to catch up to you." The two of them smiled and did not reply with humble words. The heavenly emperor came in front of him and the other two and said, "Let's go. It's time to go back." Hanju and the other two naturally had no objections. He couldn't wait to go back as soon as possible. The heavenly emperor waved his sleeve and wrapped the three of them with his dermic powers. Then, he turned into a beam of light and quickly flew away, disappearing into the darkness. The other mighty figures in front of the great ultimate hall also left. On the way back, Hanju was very nervous, afraid that the demon emperor would suddenly attack. The heavenly emperor was faster this time compared to their initial trip. In less than 5 minutes, he sent Hanju to the void where the reroll world was previously. Before he could speak, the heavenly emperor and the other two quickly left. Seeing this, Hanju hurriedly jumped into the netherworld. After returning to the netherworld, Hanju finally heaved a sigh of relief. "This time, I can't go out and listen to the Tao unless I reach the zenith heaven realm," Hanju thought. Apart from his cultivation level increasing, he had also comprehended the great Tao of karma. This Tao was not simple. When he stepped into the deity realm, he would cultivate the Tao of karma and life and death. His future would be limitless. To be safe, Hanju moved hundreds of thousands of times in the netherworld before jumping back to Hidden Insect Island. The journey was indeed safe. This was normal. Hanju's existence was so low and his reputation was even inferior to ordinary cultivators in the immortal world. He didn't take the initiative to provoke the enemy, either. How could he be attacked? After returning to the Hidden Insect Island, Hanju gathered all the disciples and told them about the lecture this time. There was no substantial content. He only let the disciples listen to broaden their vision. He had only comprehended the great Tao of karma and could not speak of it. The Black Hell Demon Lord sighed. "Ancestor Shitian, I used to think that he was a legendary figure of the ancient era. I didn't expect him to really exist." Sun Chang'an was also extremely emotional. In the past, the Buddha was the strongest existence in his eyes. Now, he heard from Hanju that the heavenly Tao Buddha was also respectful in front of ancestor Shitian like a junior. He had really overestimated himself. The disciples' blood boiled as their cultivation passion was ignited. Hanju instructed them and then returned to the Khanate cave abode. He began the simulation trial. To prevent the system from being exposed, he deliberately set a restriction on the data set by the hundreds of mighty figures in the Great Ultimate Hall. Only Hanju could challenge them. The other disciples couldn't see them during the simulation trial. After all, there were more than a few disciples in the hidden sect. Hanju had to be careful. Just like his clone Liu Bei, Hanju would also be on guard. It wasn't that he didn't trust them, but that he was afraid of being soul-searched and deduced by the enemy. It was better to be safe than sorry. Hanju began to absorb chi to cultivate and increase his soul's strength. As for the great Tao of karma, he would cultivate it after stepping into the deity realm. He was already a rank 6 immortal emperor. He didn't know if he could reach the deity realm within 1,000 years. Half a year later, words suddenly appeared in front of Hanju, who was cultivating. "Ancestor Shitian has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 1 times 5 times stars. Dijuan has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 2 times stars. Jade Bodhi has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 1 time star. 7 Dao Sage has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 2 times stars." Hanju was stunned. What was going on? Why were there suddenly 4 favorability notifications? They looked like big shots. Hanju was stunned for a moment and then hurriedly checked the information of the 4 big shots. Ancestor Shitian, cultivation unknown. Transcendent Dao expert. Lives in the 33 times layered heavens. Unrestrained by fate and the heavenly Tao, he has experienced 9 immeasurable calamities. Because of your cultivation philosophy, he has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 1 times 5 times stars. Daijun, cultivation unknown. Eternal deity. Lives in the 33 times layered heavens. His body has transformed into billions of wills and his spirit is present in the heavens. Because you were praised by ancestor Shitian, he has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 2 times stars. Jade Bodhi, cultivation unknown. Transcendent Tao expert. The first Bodhi that cultivated to success under the heavenly Tao. Primordial ancestor of the Buddhist sect. He has always lived in the dark forbidden zone. Because you were praised by ancestor Shitian, he has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 1 times star. 7 Tao Sage, cultivation unknown. Great Tao Divine Spirit. He controls 7 Great Tao and has experienced the Great Tao immeasurable calamity. He has lived in the deity realm of the ruins of End. Because you were praised by ancestor Shitian, he has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 2 times stars. Hanju read on and only had 1 word in his heart. Awesome! Eternal deity. Transcendent Tao expert. Great Tao divine spirit. These titles almost blinded him. Were these big shots playing mahjong? Hanju was secretly puzzled. Fortunately, it was a favorable impression. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to eat and sleep in peace. In the great ultimate hall, ancestor Shitian and 3 figures sat in a circle. They were Dijuan, Jade Bodhi, and 7 Tao Sage. Dijuan wore an ordinary Taoist robe and had a gentle face. He was tall and had a smile on his face. Jade Bodhi was an old monk. He was thin and wore a black kasaya. He had a benevolent expression. 7 Tao Sage was dressed in black robes. His face was cold and his eyes were sharp. He exuded an evil aura. This child indeed possesses a mysterious treasure that seems to be related to the nebulous primordial chi. 7 Tao Sage stroked his beard. Dijuan smiled and said, "Ha ha ha, I deduced that this kid has even heard of the story of an avatar of mine. Although it's a little biased, he still admires me." Jade Bodhi shook his head and said, "This child's mentality is very good. Unfortunately, he was born in the wrong era. If the world had just been created, he might be able to attain the Tao." "What a pity!" Ancestor Shitian said, "Why don't we make a bet and see if he can achieve the Tao?" "I don't think so." 7 Tao Sage nodded. "I also don't think so." Jade Bodhi said, "He can't." Dijuan smiled and said, "Then, I'll choose the other option. Otherwise, it would be meaningless." "What should I bet?" The 3 mighty figures fell into deep thought. After a while, 7 Tao Sage smiled sinisterly. "Why don't we bet on the nirvana of the great Tao?" Dijuan said angrily, "So ruthless? You 3 old men want to bully me? What? You're an eternal deity, but you don't dare to make a small bet?" Jade Bodhi provoked. Dijuan snorted. "So be it. If you lose, give me a great Tao each." Ancestor Shitian, Jade Bodhi, and 7 Tao Sage looked at each other and finally nodded. 10 years later, after returning from the great ultimate hall, Hanju continued cultivating diligently. At the same time, the battle of the immeasurable calamity erupted again. The leaders of the factions who had been listening to the lecture began to fight. Tao Comprehension Sword did not like to stay in the cave abode recently. She liked to hang out with Liao. Ever since Liao defeated Tu Linger, who wielded the ancestral Magus Tower, Tao Comprehension Sword started to admire her. This was also a good thing. At least Hanju had more peace. On this day, he took out the Book of Misfortune to curse the enemy and checked his emails. Your good friendly Dao Kong was attacked by a Divine Palace mighty figure, X45. Your good friend Divine General was attacked by the demon race's immortal emperor, X120. Your good friend Huang Jihao was attacked by a Divine Palace disciple, X198431. Your good friend Ji Xianshan was attacked by the Providence of the Sacred Dynasty. His providence has declined. Your good friend Ji Xianshan has devoured the Providence of the Sacred Dynasty. His cultivation has increased greatly. Your good friend Imoju accidentally entered an ancient blessed land. Her providence has changed. Your disciple Long Hao obtained Hao Tian's inheritance in his dreams. His cultivation has increased greatly. Li Daokong and the Divine Palace were at odds. He had been attacked by experts who had surpassed the immortal Emperor realm so many times, but he had not been injured at all. Hanju suspected that he had surrounded the mighty figure of the Divine Palace. Ji Xianshan was indeed someone meant to face the calamity. His recent battle achievements had become more and more eye-catching. His cultivation level was also increasing rapidly and had already reached the Grand Unity Golden Immortal Realm. Seeing that Long Hao had obtained Hao Tian's inheritance, Hanju was still a little worried. However, Long Hao's favorability towards him did not decrease, which meant that he had not been possessed by Hao Tian for the time being. It seemed like he had to tell the Heavenly Emperor about this and let him be prepared. He hadn't said it before because he was worried that the Heavenly Emperor might already know. Therefore, he had sent Long Hao to him. He didn't want to be involved in the vortex between them. By the way, I almost forgot. I broke through again. Should I take care of the Demon Emperor and the Heavenly Tao Buddha? Hanju thought to himself. He had a quadrillion years of life now. It was too much, so it could be used to an extent. Yeah. Each person could be cursed with 2 billion years. In any case, it was far from affecting his total lifespan. After Hanju made up his mind, he started to increase the curse power. He first cursed the Heavenly Tao Buddha. 5 days later, his lifespan began to decrease. Hanju stared at his attributes panel and prepared to click. 1,000,000 years. 10 million years. 500 times million years. 1 billion years. 2 billion years. Stop! Hanju threw the Book of Misfortune aside and started to circulate his energy to heal his injuries. This was the first time he lost 2 billion years of his lifespan, so he actually felt a little dizzy. His body was weak. In the future, he couldn't curse his enemies for more than 2 billion years at once, or else something would happen. Hanju checked his emails as he healed. He was pleasantly surprised. It was indeed effective. Because of your curse, your enemy Heavenly Tao Buddha went berserk. He accidentally attacked and killed several Buddhas, injuring hundreds of Buddhist disciples. Hanju was secretly pleased. Your disguise is going to fall off now. Let's see how you continue acting. Several days later, Hanju returned to his peak state. He began to curse the Demon Emperor. It was also 2 billion years of life, and something actually happened to the unfathomable Demon Emperor this time. Because of your curse, the killing intent of your enemy Demon Emperor has increased greatly. He personally entered the calamity to kill and vent his anger. His negative karma has increased greatly and he has become the person facing the calamity. Became the one facing the calamity? Hanju was curious. What was the threshold to become the one who faced the calamity? Then, he continued to rest. Little did he know that the immortal world was already in chaos. The Heavenly Tao Buddha slaughtered the Buddhist disciples and alerted the other 3 Buddhas to come out of seclusion. They joined forces to suppress the Heavenly Tao Buddha, causing the Buddhist sect to panic. The Demon Emperor had gone berserk and slaughtered all living beings, causing anger among humans and gods. It was said that the land of a region was covered in blood qi and was extremely terrifying. Half a month later, Hanju began to use the derivation function and stated, I want to know the eventual winner of this immeasurable calamity. 1 billion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? Continue. 1 billion years was nothing. Hanju thought heroically. Then, he started to feel dizzy. When he opened his eyes again, Hanju came to the ground. He looked up and was stunned. The world was dark and sand covered the sky. There were no plants on the ground, only bones. It was extremely desolate. What happened? The world was destroyed? Did they all perish together? Hanju frowned and panicked. Please don't tell me I died too. How could this be? Is it because I've made the demon emperor and the heavenly Tao Buddha go mad? Hanju suddenly regretted it. Crap. I've implicated myself. At this moment, Hanju suddenly saw a figure. The figure sat in the air, covered by sand. It was difficult to capture him. Hanju narrowed his eyes and his expression changed. This person, Long Hao. This kid is the final winner of the calamity? Hanju immediately flew over and wanted to approach him. Long Hao suddenly opened his eyes. The golden light above his head turned into dust and scattered. His black hair scattered and swayed in the wind. It turned white at a speed visible to the naked eye. He laughed impudently. This emperor will kill his way through the tribulation and complete a feat that even the devil ancestor has never done. 33 times layered heavens, ancient desolate. Just you wait. I, Hao Tian, will kill my way back sooner or later. Hao Tian. Hanju frowned. Why did Hao Tian win the immeasurable calamity? Hanju was very puzzled. At this moment, Hao Tian raised his hand and dug at his chest, directly pulling out a soul. That soul looked exactly like him. Long Hao. Hanju widened his eyes. Being grabbed by Hao Tian, Long Hao struggled with all his might. He said angrily, Hao Tian, you killed my father and slaughtered my hidden sect. You will die a horrible death. Hao Tian said disdainfully, under the heavenly Tao, who can possibly kill me? Hanju was thunderstruck. The hidden sect had been slaughtered? I'm also dead? Hanju almost exploded. At this moment, everything in front of him shattered. The scene ended. Hanju's consciousness returned to reality. He opened his eyes and frowned. Damn Hao Tian, this hatred was irreconcilable. He wouldn't rest until he was dead. Hanju was in a dilemma. Hao Tian was still in Long Hao's body. If he cursed Hao Tian, it would definitely affect Long Hao. He had to think of a way to separate them. Hanju took out the heavenly Tao token and poured his divine sense into it. Di Tai Bai had perished. It was unknown who the heavenly Tao token would contact now. Soon, a voice sounded, what is it? The heavenly emperor. Hanju was surprised. He didn't expect the heavenly emperor to actually take over Di Tai Bai's heavenly Tao token. He thought that it would be destroyed along with him. The heavenly emperor was too considerate. Hanju organized his words and said, Your Majesty, after I finished listening to the Tao, I cultivated the great Tao of karma and deduced that there is still a soul hidden in Hao's body. You have to be wary. The heavenly emperor asked curiously, You're only an immortal emperor. How can you cultivate the great Tao of karma? Cough cough, maybe it's talent. You're wrong. There's no other soul in Hao's body. He's my son. His soul is newly born. I deduced that the soul is called Hao Tian. Just like Hao, it has the word Hao. Hao Tian. The heavenly emperor's tone changed to one of horror. Is that true? Yes, Your Majesty. Don't say that I told you. Of course. The heavenly emperor quickly severed his divine sense connection. Hanju heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that the heavenly emperor really didn't know. He hoped that he could save Long Hao now. As long as he pulled Hao Tian's soul out, Hanju could target him. Damn it! This fellow actually dared to slaughter the hidden sect. Hanju was really angry. Although it was something that happened in the future, he was still very angry. His hatred towards Hao Tian soared to 6 stars. The heavenly Tao Buddha had already lost the right to become the final winner. There was no need to specifically target him in the future. He would do it once every 10 years. He just had to try his best to let him die in the immeasurable calamity. There was no hurry for the time being. Next, How Tian would be Hanju's #1 target. Sigh, I have to worry about saving the world again. Hanju sighed and thought silently. The future he wanted was very simple. It would be enough if the mortals were still around, the order was still in place, the heavenly emperor was still alive, and so was he. It was that simple. However, the previous two results were too dark. The heavenly Tao Buddha had turned to the dark side and was prepared to bring darkness to all living beings. How Tian had even slaughtered all the worlds. It was extremely ridiculous. I'm not the dark forbidden lord. I'm the savior of the light. Hanju adjusted his emotions and continued cultivating. Curses were only a method. Cultivation was the most important. He couldn't rely on curses alone. One day, if he had the strength to kill whoever he wanted, he wouldn't hide and curse. Although it felt good, it was still a dirty trick. Immortal world, West Heaven. The three great Buddhas stood above the clouds. They were all 10,000 feet tall and emitted a Buddhist light. Countless Buddhist disciples surrounded the sky. Everyone's gaze landed on a mountain range below. The mountains were covered in talismans. There were countless of them. Deep underground, the heavenly Tao Buddha meditated in the cave. His eyes were blood red and no longer had the solemnity of the past. He gritted his teeth and said, I was plotted against by the dark forbidden lord. I'm not from the devil race. Don't you know my background? Above the sea of clouds, the most awe-inspiring divine might Buddha said, Amitabha. We know about this. Regarding the dark forbidden lord, I will definitely find him. However, the sins you have committed are true. You should reflect and calm down here until your Buddhist heart is pure before coming out. The heavenly Tao Buddha was silent. At this moment, among the Buddhist disciples was an ordinary-looking Buddha. He was the primordial chaos heavenly devil after possession. TSK, the dark forbidden lord is really powerful. He actually made the heavenly Tao Buddha lose control. It seems that the era of the Buddhist sect manipulating the world has passed. Primordial chaos heavenly devil thought to himself. He couldn't help but think of Hanju. For some reason, he felt that the dark forbidden lord might be related to him. Hanju was too strange. No matter what, he was already Hanju's subordinate. His life and death were controlled by him, so he naturally didn't dare to defame Hanju. He only hoped that Hanju was the dark forbidden lord now. If the dark forbidden lord laughed until the end, he would also benefit. However, Hanju was at most the dark forbidden lord's subordinate. If he was so strong, he wouldn't have to hide in the mortal world. The primordial chaos heavenly devil thought. With the heavenly Tao Buddha suppressed, he could realize his ambitions. The heavenly Tao Buddha was actually the devil ancestor. Since the primordial chaos heavenly devil had once worked for him, now that he had betrayed the devil race, he had always been afraid of being discovered. In the blink of an eye, another 20 years passed. Hanju didn't know about the commotion in the immortal world and could only spy on it from the emails. On this day, Hanju was about to take out the Book of Misfortune to do his daily missions when he suddenly frowned. An extremely strange power invaded his body. This power was somewhat similar to the Great Tao of Karma, but it was also very different. He couldn't capture it and could only use his dermic powers to resist. Wait! A curse! Holy shit! Someone cursed me? Hanju was frightened and started trembling. What happened? He immediately checked the strongest person around Hidden Sect Island. He was the strongest. There was no enemy attack. Could it be the Demon Emperor? Li Shenao? Void Emperor? Heavenly Tao Buddha? They discovered that I'm the Dark Forbidden Lord? No! If they had found out, my hatred points would have increased. Hanju was puzzled. Who actually cursed me? Hanju pinched his fingers to deduce. He couldn't deduce the karma of the curse. He smiled. The other party had some tricks up his sleeve. But I still have stronger methods. I want to know who's cursing me. Hanju thought in his heart and used the derivation function. 100 times million years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? Continue. Immediately after, a scene appeared in Hanju's mind. In a dark Taoist temple, a youth in a Taoist robe held a purple compass and muttered something. Hanju had seen this person before. Previously in the Great Ultimate Hall, Hanju copied everyone's data using the simulation trial and recorded their appearance at the same time. After all, those who could listen to the Tao were all important figures in the immortal world. It was a good thing to remember them. This person seemed to be from the Jie school. Hanju entered the simulation trial and found this person to check his information. Jing Tiangong, cultivation unknown, Jie school elder. Hanju fought with him first. An hour later, Hanju was defeated. This fellow was quite something. Hanju opened his eyes. Why was Jing Tiangong cursing him? Hanju felt that the curse power had disappeared and didn't cause any substantial damage to him. Could it be that this fellow was not targeting him but cursing many people? Hanju didn't understand. No matter what, the other party had cursed him. He had to curse him back. But not now. Cursing now was too obvious. He would wait a few years. Hanju took out the Book of Misfortune and cursed his enemy to complete the mission that happened once every 10 years. In the dark Taoist temple, Jing Tiangong slowly put down the purple compass in his hand and heaved a sigh of relief. Although I have a supreme treasure, it's still too difficult to curse the Tao listeners of the Great Ultimate Hall. He thought silently. He focused on cursing the leader of the forces who had stirred up a storm in the immeasurable calamity. As for the immortal emperors accompanying them, he just casually cursed and did not want to spend much effort on them. They must think that the Dark Forbidden Lord is cursing them. The more chaotic it is, the better. This way, our Jie school can rise amidst the chaos. Jing Tiangong looked expectant. Sept Master, I will definitely bring glory to the Jie school and lead it back to the peak. Jing Tiangong thought firmly. He began to circulate his energy to heal his injuries. Curses were originally a sinister method. If he injured 1,000 enemies, he would suffer 800 backlashes. Fortunately, this was a supreme treasure, so the backlash was not too great. I really don't know how the Dark Forbidden Lord did it. He actually cursed the entire immortal world. Is his lifespan very long? Is his cultivation level extremely high? Jing Tiangong thought in confusion. Curses consumed lifespan or providence. Although his lifespan was long, he didn't dare to use it to curse. This was because cursing consumed too much lifespan, not providence. If he lost providence, he could earn more. But lifespan was predestined. With his cultivation level, it was very difficult for him to increase his lifespan unless he broke through. How difficult was breaking through? He hadn't broken through in 10 million years. He almost forgot how it felt to break through. 10 years later, Hanju suddenly opened his eyes. It was time. Tao Comprehension Sword wasn't in the cave abode. Hanju directly took out the Book of Misfortune and started cursing Jing Tiangong of the Jie school. I'll spend 100 times million years to play with him first. Hanju snorted. In any case, Jing Tiangong didn't know where he was. 5 days later, Hanju's lifespan began to decrease. He opened his attributes panel and strictly controlled the time. Under the full-powered curse, his lifespan decreased very quickly. When 100 million years had been lost, he immediately stopped and wiped the blood from his eyes. He checked the emails. He couldn't find Jing Tiangong. Right. He almost forgot. Jing Tiangong didn't have a favorable impression or hatred towards him. Hanju couldn't know his situation. Should he continue? Forget it, that was enough. Jing Tiangong cursed him for a while and didn't curse anymore. Hanju returned the favor and warned him. If Jing Tiangong still cursed him, Hanju would spend his life cursing him. Hanju adjusted his state and continued to do his daily missions after recovering. In the dark Taoist temple, Boom! Jing Tiangong spat out a mouthful of blood. He hurriedly circulated his energy to heal his injuries and suppress the terrifying curse power. Damn it! Who's cursing me? Did the people I cursed discover me? Jing Tiangong was frightened. It would be terrible if he provoked a mighty figure from the heavens. For the next period of time, Jing Tiangong was extremely nervous. Hanju's curse caused his dermic powers to go berserk, and he couldn't calm down for a short period of time. If a mighty figure attacked during this period of time, he might very well die. He waited for 5 years. No mighty figure attacked, and the curse did not continue. It seemed that it wasn't the group of listeners from the Great Ultimate Hall cursing him. Jing Tiangong thought of a possibility. Could it be the Dark Forbidden Lord? The more Jing Tiangong thought about it, the more likely it seemed. The Dark Forbidden Lord was good at curses. If he wanted to frame him, it was very likely that the latter would notice. Is the Dark Forbidden Lord warning me? Jing Tiangong smiled bitterly, his heart filled with reverence. What kind of existence was the Dark Forbidden Lord? Jing Tiangong looked at his purple compass and suddenly felt that he was ridiculous. Wait! Why don't I join the Dark Forbidden Lord? He would mess up the immortal world with him and help the Jia school rope in a strong alliance. Speaking of which, there was no news of the Jia school being cursed by the Dark Forbidden Lord. Jing Tiangong's eyes lit up, thinking that this was a good idea. But where should he find the Dark Forbidden Lord? Ever since he spent 100 times million years cursing Jing Tiangong to warn him, Hanju had not been cursed since. It seemed that this fellow was shocked. This was also good. If everyone was peaceful, he could cultivate in peace. Hanju's life returned to normal. He continued to advance to the rank 7 Immortal Emperor realm. Year after year passed. Detected that you are 4 times, 0 times years old and your life has taken another step forward. You have the following choices. 1 times, enter the calamity immediately and fight for Providence. Your name will shake the heavens. You can obtain 9 Grey Dao fragments, a supreme treasure, and a chance for the system to upgrade. 2 times, ignore the calamity for the time being. Cultivate in a low-profile manner and compete with time. You can obtain a Grey Dao fragment and a mystical power inheritance. Hanju looked at the choices in front of him and raised his eyebrows. This dog system has really invested heavily in order to lure me into the calamity. You want me to face the calamity? Impossible! Hanju silently chose the second option. Congratulations on obtaining a Grey Dao fragment. Congratulations on obtaining the mystical power Great Freedom Heaven Imprisoning Palm. Great Freedom Heaven Imprisoning Palm, an unparalleled mystical power that involves the Tao of space. You can take in the sky with 1 palm and it will become stronger as your cultivation level increases. At its peak, you can take in the heavenly Tao. Great Freedom? What a nostalgic name. This mystical power was quite impressive. At the strongest, he could absorb the heavenly Tao? Hanju immediately inherited the Great Freedom Heaven Imprisoning Palm. This mystical power was not as simple as collecting the sky. It could also capture all existences under the sky and imprison them in the space in the palm, devouring their dermic powers or other energies. Very domineering. After Hanju mastered it, he recalled that he had yet to improve his various sword Tao, so he already spent a year raising all his mystical powers to the limit. He was just about to enter the simulation trial and practice the Great Freedom Heaven Imprisoning Palm when he suddenly sensed something. It came from the chaotic domain. Tao Sovereign was looking for him again. Hanju thought for a moment and jumped into the chaotic domain. The chaotic domain was equivalent to the chat group created by Hanju and Tao Sovereign. The two of them could communicate telepathically here, no matter how far apart their bodies were. Tao Sovereign went straight to the point. Can you save me? After this is done, I owe you my life. Hanju asked in surprise, who caught you? Demon Emperor. No, I can't help. I'm sorry. The two of them fell silent. Hanju looked at Dao Sovereign and felt glad. Fortunately, he did not follow this fellow to assassinate the Demon Emperor. Hanju didn't kick him when he was down or nag at him. At this moment, silence was better than words. After a long while, Dao Sovereign said leisurely, "If you can think of a way to save me, I can give you a huge fortuitous encounter that can allow you to step into the deity realm. You will definitely succeed and won't need to transcend the tribulation." Hanju said, "Forget it. I'm really helpless about this." Dao Sovereign gritted his teeth. "Then state your conditions." Hanju asked in surprise, "Why didn't the Divine Palace save you? I heard that the Divine Palace and the Demon Court seem to have joined forces. Letting you live shouldn't be a problem." Upon hearing this, Dao Sovereign sighed. The Palace Master and the Demon Emperor might have reached some agreement. Thinking of this, Dao Sovereign's heart ached. The reason why he wanted to assassinate the Demon Emperor was that he wanted to help the Divine Palace. Who knew that after his assassination failed, the two sides would ally? So be it if they formed an alliance, but the Divine Palace actually didn't save him. Now, he was suffering from the Demon Emperor's torture all day long. It was indescribable. Hanju fell silent again and couldn't help but mourn for Dao Sovereign. He had followed the wrong person. If he was caught, the Heavenly Emperor would definitely save him at all costs. Hanju thought for a moment and said, "What if I want you to leave the Divine Palace?" Stunned, Dao Sovereign subconsciously rejected. "No!" But before he could finish, he shut up again. Geniuses all had their own pride, let alone Dao Sovereign, who thought he was the #1 prodigy in the world. Wasn't the Divine Palace afraid of losing him? Damn it! The more Dao Sovereign thought about it, the angrier he became. "As long as you can save me, I'll leave the Divine Palace and join you," Dao Sovereign said in a low voice. He hated the Demon Emperor. The recent Demon Emperor was extremely violent and often vented his anger on him. He couldn't take it anymore. Most importantly, the Demon Emperor had brought him to the Great Ultimate Hall to listen to the Tao. He had clearly met the Divine Palace's master. The latter could clearly save him, but he had told him to endure and stay by the Demon Emperor's side. What's this? Using me as a bargaining chip? Using me to entertain the Demon Emperor? Hanju sighed when he heard Dao Sovereign's tone. Was the Divine Palace stupid? Hanju said, "Just you wait. I'll go get help now." "All right." Dao Sovereign nodded and said, "Thank you." Hanju waved his hand. "I'm ashamed to say this. I'm not strong enough. Otherwise, I would definitely save you personally. After all, only the two of us have the chaotic physique and can be considered to be of the same race. Sai, you can wait for the good news. Of course. Dao Sovereign has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 2 stars. Hanju returned to reality and looked at the notification in front of him, feeling a little dissatisfied. Only 2 stars? Forget it, I haven't saved him yet anyway. Hanju took out the Heavenly Dao token and contacted the Heavenly Emperor. Soon, his divine sense connected. "Your Majesty, do you want to subdue the chaotic physique?" Hanju asked directly. The Heavenly Emperor asked in surprise, "You mean Dao Sovereign?" He was caught by the Demon Emperor. Even if I save him, he will only run back to the Divine Palace. As expected of the Heavenly Emperor, he was really well informed. He contacted me just now. We both have the chaotic physique. We can contact each other directly in the domain. As long as you save him, he will leave the Divine Palace and join the Heavenly Court, Hanju replied. The Heavenly Emperor asked cautiously, could it be a trap? Hanju looked at his interpersonal relationships. The Dao Sovereign had indeed developed a favorable impression of him because he had been tortured by the Demon Emperor. Probably not. He said that the Demon Emperor is torturing him. Yes, the Demon Emperor has indeed gone crazy recently. I wonder what the Dark Forbidden Lord has done to him? I just cursed. I didn't do anything to him. Hanju thought silently. The Heavenly Emperor agreed and said that he would prepare immediately. Unlike the Divine Palace, the Heavenly Court really lacked prodigies. If Tao Sovereign could join them, it would definitely attract countless geniuses. Even the powerful Tao Sovereign was defeated. The immortal world is truly dangerous. Hanju sighed and continued the simulation trial. The group of listeners from the Great Ultimate Hall were like bosses in the simulation trial, waiting for Hanju to defeat them. 30 years passed quickly. As Hanju's cultivation level continued to increase, so did the cultivation of the hidden sect disciples. The weakest chaotic heavenly dog was also at the late-stage Grand Unity Earth Immortal Realm. Liao had already become a Grand Unity Golden Immortal. The chaotic gourd spirit, Han 8, followed closely behind and reached the Grand Unity Golden Immortal Realm. Han 1 to Han 7 had inferior potentials. They had just broken through to the Grand Unity Mystic Immortal Realm. Morong Chi had also reached the Grand Unity Golden Immortal Realm. The other disciples, including the 2 Golden Crows, were still lacking. Speaking of the Golden Crows, Hanju was a little troubled. Their potential was indeed not worthy of the Golden Crow's name. No wonder they were expelled by the Golden Crow Divine Clan. Although they had increased their potential by devouring the 9 Netherworld Dragon, they were still inferior to the top prodigies of the hidden sect. Hanju wasn't in a hurry. Anyway, he didn't need a Da and Xiao Er to do anything. In addition, the development of the reroll world had been on the right track. The Heavenly Tao kept increasing, and the cultivation ceiling had already begun to break through to the Grand Unity True Immortal Realm. Under the care of the white-robed Buddha, the Jade Pure Sacred Sect had already become a holy land. Its reputation was widespread. Taoist 9 Cauldrons had yet to die and was still the sect master. After a few thousand years, he could be considered a mighty figure in the mortal world. Every time he saw him, Hanju would think of sect master Li Qingzi. Things had changed. He would never see the sect master who was beaten up everywhere for the sect again. To the Jade Pure Sacred Sect, Hanju was already a legend. Other than a few elders, most people had already forgotten about him. Hanju felt that it was good. This was the best outcome. The Jade Pure Sacred Sect had become stronger because of him and had not been dragging him down. After observing the reroll world, Hanju took out the Book of Misfortune and started to do his daily missions. Tao Sovereign's favorability towards you has increased. Current favorability, 4 times stars. Why did his favorability increase? Could it be that the Heavenly Emperor had already saved him? Hanju checked the emails. They were all about attacks, but he couldn't be sure if Tao Sovereign was saved. He would wait a little longer. He would ask the Heavenly Emperor after some time. Hanju thought. Master, I seek an audience. Su Qi's voice floated over from outside the cave abode. Hanju had no choice but to put away the Book of Misfortune. Come in. As Hanju spoke, he deactivated the restriction in the cave abode. Su Qi quickly knelt down in front of him. Hanju noticed that there was a visible black aura between his eyebrows. Something was wrong. Did something happen to you? Hanju asked. Su Qi replied, nothing happened. After I broke through recently, I recalled my previous life. Master, it turns out that I was born with bad luck. I'm afraid that if I stay here, I might cause trouble. Hanju said indifferently, don't say that. I don't care about that. I'll be your master for life. I'll never dislike you. Hearing this, Su Qi was touched and his eyes turned red. In his previous life, he had been chased to the heavenly court by the Jie school and then chased down to the mortal world. No one had ever taken care of him like Hanju. Hanju asked, can you actively cultivate your power of misfortune? Su Qi's cultivation had fallen behind recently. Hanju didn't want that to happen. This kid could still become stronger and continue to harm his enemies in the future.